getting into all this electronic and underground rap? What led you to like making music?
I really wanted to be in a band as a kid, and then I guess when I was like 7, I ended up first I installed like a Magic's music maker on like my like old like tablet, or like I'd like just turned 8 or something. I spent like 3 months because I would just like make new emails to get like free trials of Ableton Live, and I would just like make like 10 just really bad songs a day with whatever presets like were there by default.
Hello, everyone. My name is Casey, and welcome to Deep Blue. Today is the 1st of February, and joining us today is a very special guest. Their name is Maple, aka Toasted Cherries. How are you doing today?
So I've been doing pretty good today. How about you?
I've been doing I've been doing pretty good as well. I've been doing pretty good as well. So for my icebreaker question at the start of every episode, I ask a guest like a really random question. So out of these two games, which one would you want to exist? Five Nights at Cans or Sofago the Eight Pages?
Oh my god. Probably Sofago the 8 pages. I think Five Nights at Cannes would be too scary.
I just can't take his name seriously. Every time I think of Can, I just think of like the live stream he did, and then like the kid just joins in butt ass naked. It was like, "Hi, Can."
Yeah, that's too scary, man.
I can't. Yeah, that is a good option. Sofago the Eight Pages. Where is Sofago? It's like he disappeared. I have not heard
Yeah,
from
I've
that dude
been
in years.
yeah, the dude fell off.
He did. So for anyone who doesn't really know who you are, you want to introduce yourself?
Uh I'm a YouTuber and musician. I
Mm-hmm.
do mostly Roblox related video essays. I talk about the history of different mostly internet focused topics. And then
Mm-hmm.
I make it's mostly just stuff like that I'm interested in.
Awesome. So with you being our youngest guest at 17, so like how is that like? Because like you've achieved like so many people's dreams at such a young age. So, like people have one or two reactions. They feel really inspired or they feel like it's over for them. So what do you feel about like just being like a really successful YouTuber at 17? Because I know a lot of people your size who are just like that's like their full-time position. Like because you're at what 200K subs and like you average
Yeah.
like hundreds of thousands of views. Like some people will just do that full time, but I'm seeing like you're still doing like still at doing school and you're doing it at a young age. So what do you got to say about that?
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think I just have like I don't need to do it full time yet because I'm not like living on my own or anything. Like it's not
Mm-hmm.
really that big of a concern for me yet, or at least it won't be for like 1 or 2, maybe 3 more years. So at the moment I can just kind of do school, and then when I get back home from school, just like about half of my time is like, or I think it's like split into thirds. Like my time like outside of school is just like videos, like editing and coming up with ideas and stuff like that, writing, and then like
Mm-hmm.
music, like just like making beats and like all that stuff that I've been doing for years, and then like living a normal life as well.
So which one do you associate more with, like the YouTuber side of you or the music side of you?
I think music is way more personal for me. YouTube has always just been like a hobby. I feel like it's kind of easier to see music as like more of a personal thing for me because it's way more like emotionally focused and like way quicker as well. Like with YouTube, it's kind of like one thing I was interested in for like that like 3 week time span, because that's usually about the range that I like upload in, like
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks to like a month, and then it's way less like personal. It's more about the like topic at hand, and then so I think YouTube is also like, I'm not like completely disconnected from YouTube like that, but it's like music is way more personal to me. So,
Mm-hmm.
but people know me way more for YouTube. So,
Mm-hmm. So how do you like just balance them out? Because you have, of course, you have the music side of you, the school side of you, and then just the YouTube side of you. So how do you like just balance that out?
whatever I'm I guess it's more whatever I'm most inspired to keep doing at that moment. So for a little bit I was doing like a lot of music stuff like earlier this month, because usually like at the start of like each year, like in January, like since forever, like as long as I've been doing this, like I'll just take a little break and then just like do like whatever else. And then now I'm getting like today and yesterday I've been like actually working on a video again, like editing. I'm in the editing phase of a new video.
So let's start from the very, very beginning. So let's just talk about Roblox. So like, what was the beginning of you like playing Roblox? Let's start with that.
Of 2013, so I would have been 5 or 6. My brother, he was an avid user of many Flash game sites, so like think Miniclip and Congregate and
Classics.
like Armor Games, or was it Armor Games? Yeah. Stuff like that. On one of those sites, he saw an ad for Roblox, and for a little bit he played as a guest, and then he made an account, and then I think he got mad at me sharing his account, so I ended up making my own in like late 2013. And my family was very, we had one kid's computer in our house, and then I think my mom and dad shared one. So at the time, my parents were very worried about me installing viruses, so I couldn't play a lot of like computer games. So
I had the same
Roblox
problem.
is yeah, Roblox is basically like the only computer game I played for a while until actually I remember like a couple months after I joined, my dad made me like uninstall it, I'm pretty sure, because he thought it was a virus, and then
I had the
eventually
same exact problem.
yeah, I I think he got persuaded because he was seeing like Roblox gift cards like in stores and stuff like that, so he like knew it was legit. So we ended up getting back Roblox like a little bit later.
Yeah, I had the same exact problem when because like I made my account like 2013, I think around, but I was playing as a guest first, and then when I installed Roblox finally, my dad got really mad because it was like, "What is this game? This is a virus." And I was like, "Yeah," I just ended up deleting it. I didn't really play much Roblox until I moved, and then like my dad was
Mm,
like, "Yeah, all right, the computer's yours. Do whatever you want with it." Yeah.
yeah.
so, so you definitely played around like. So what was like the peak time you really like played Roblox? So what would you consider peak Roblox to be?
I think the time I was having the most like fun with Roblox was like,
Hmm.
I don't think this is like, I don't really know if there's like exactly like a peak time in the game, like the time it was the best. Because I feel like people always say like, oh, old Roblox was like way better, like, but their version of old Roblox is like some people say like 2008 and then 2015 or like whatever. I think
Hmm.
the time I was like having the most fun with Roblox was like 2014, 15, because that's when I was like really getting into it. I think that was the time I had like the most like fun on it. But I did like still, I quit Roblox for a couple years, like 2017, 2018. I didn't even play Roblox, but I came back to it in like 2019, and then I played it a lot in like 2021, 2022, and like 2020. And so that time was also like, I don't think, I think at that point it was more of like, I guess like ironically playing it because like they're just like making fun of like new updates. Like at the
Hmm.
time when I was like 7 years old, and I didn't really care about that. I was just playing the games that were on the front page. Like, so I think 2014, 15.
Yeah, I'd say the same time period because like what are the games around that time? I'm thinking of just like like rip hole mini games, work at a pizza place, surviving kill
Yeah,
the killers, assassin. That's
yeah. I
when like
played a lot of
events were
like,
cooler. Oh, what was up?
oh yeah. I think
Hmm.
at the time they still had like sponsored events that weren't really anything except like get like a couple cool hats that'll go off sale later. But like
Hmm.
at the time I think I played more like egg hunts and stuff like that. But I
Yeah, I
played a lot
miss
of like
those.
survive the disasters and like whatever like cheap horror games were coming out, like well, what am I thinking of? Like I guess like Haunted USA stuff, so like Bloody Mary and
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Hmm. When they removed ticks, like how long ago was that? I remember they removed ticks. I got so devastated, and also really
That
pissed off
was
too.
like early 2016 because I remember at that time that was when I like that was after I started like figuring out like what old Roblox was and like how different it was. So at the time I was like 8 years old and I was on the forums like old Roblox was so much better. They need to bring back ticks. So
Man, it's like what led to like you making like Roblox content? Because you did like because your first video I see is the finding the horror sound.
before that, I was doing like uh So for most of like 2020 and early 2021, I was doing actually Minecraft content because
Hmm.
I played a lot of like Bed Wars, like Hypixel and stuff like that. And I kind of just like got bored with it and like I wasn't really seeing any results. I felt like I was just kind of like forcing myself to do this. Like it wasn't fun to me anymore. So I like, even though it was just like me like playing games with my friends, I was like, this is kind of stupid. And I ended up just doing like literally whatever I wanted. So in April of that year, so this was like kind of like towards end of quarantine, at least for me. Like it was I think this was one of the last months I was like doing like virtual school, so like Zoom and stuff like that. And I woke up one morning and or actually no, I forgot. I wrote the script for it like 2 months earlier. Like I did this like just deep dive into like where it came from because like nobody on like there were like a bunch of like Reddit threads and stuff that like couldn't figure it out, and I wrote like a script about it. And I was like, I probably won't make this into a video, and I guess I just did that day. And
Hmm.
it was either that I was gonna make that video or one about like a Valve game that had 0 players. It was either that or I the horror music video, and I ended up going with that. And I was stuck at like 110 subscribers for like forever, and I ended up like getting like above like 300 in like a month because of that video. I was like, whoa. And I was
Hmm.
like, people like this, and it was fun to make, so I'm just gonna make more, and I ended up doing that. So
Hmm. So when that blew up, like, what was like your general reaction? Because right now that's at 1 million views.
it didn't have like anywhere near like a million views like automatically. It had like
Hmm.
I think it's peaked at like 50K or something like that for like a very or not a very long time, but until like I had more videos that blew up like on their own.
Hmm.
And that was pretty insane to me. Like I in like a good month, like I was doing like other stuff for a while, other than like between like the horror music video and like history of Roblox. So like in that 3 month time span of like April to
Hmm.
July 2021, I watched myself go from like stuck at 110 to like 500 subscribers, and I was like, oh my god, because uh on a previous channel, the most subscribers I ever had was 420. Uh, yeah. And I never got past that, and it was like mostly like empty subscribers that didn't like watch my videos, so I was like kind of like bummed out about that. But forever I'd like been stuck like around like 200, 300, and I just blew past that on a new channel in like a month, and I thought that was pretty crazy to me.
Hmm. So like with the horror like music video, like that one was like that one was purely like off your like research. Like it wasn't like already found on like some Reddit thread or like it wasn't like a Roblox wiki page for it.
Well, it was a mix because at the time, I guess there was a different team called Roblox Remastered Soundtrack that I didn't know about for a little bit until I think they reached out to me or something like that, or someone I knew like was a part of it, and I just didn't know about it. But they ended up finding like a more accurate like source of like the actual sounds or something, like where they came from. I just found like how the script was made basically, which I guess people already like knew about. So I wouldn't or it was basically just like kind of like inexperienced like research, like my like findings on the topic, because it was like something that I thought was like pretty interesting. And I just kind of compiled them in one place and made it like more known to people that like yeah, they didn't have any resources other than like what admins uploaded, so they just had to slow down sounds really like poorly. So that was basically the conclusion I came to in my video.
And then after that, what made you like want to be like Roblox focused? Like you do have like some other non-Roblox related videos, which I'll bring up later. But like, what made you want to be like after that video blew up? What made you want to be like, I'm gonna stick to Roblox?
I made one more video right after the horror music one because I immediately saw like this was like different than like
Hmm.
anything I'd made before, and it was pretty fun. So I just kind of like posted one more video with like a couple other findings,
Hmm.
and it I think between that I kind of like stuck to Minecraft for a little bit, like kind of like tried to blend them in a way, and I like doing that, but eventually I was coming home from, no, it wasn't school. I don't know where I was, but this was like early June 2021 or something. And I remember like kind of like doing more like old Roblox centric like research, like just on my own, like in my free time because I was bored and I thought it was pretty cool. And
Hmm.
I went out that day and I saw like Roblox gift cards at the store, and I was like, that kind of made me think about like how kind of just like far the game like I was like thinking like, damn, imagine if like David Bazuki saw this in like 2005, dude, he'd freak out, like stuff like that. That was kind of my thought process. And then I was inspired by that kind of like moment. And I think Sipover made a history of Minecraft, kind of like Bill Wirtz ish styled video.
Hmm.
My video doesn't really follow that style. He has like all the like jazzy interludes where he sings for 3 seconds and then goes back to facts or whatever. Like I didn't really do that, except I did kind of like make some background music for it myself, but that was really about it. And so I just made that video, and that video absolutely took off. And as I was, it took like a month and a half to make that video, or like almost 2 months, like basically the majority of the summer, like and over that time I'd found like a bunch of other stuff and gotten way more interested in, like invested in like old Roblox stuff, like old drama, like old features, old games, and stuff like that. So I ended up going fully with it.
Yeah, I think you really started at the right time because you and like pretty much like a good chunk of my guests started around COVID, and like and you guys did all the trends of like COVID, like videos like icebergs and like history of blank
Yeah.
blank. It's like yeah, you guys really started at the right time. Like I'll because like I have like my personal channel. I don't know if you saw, and I will think like,
Yeah, I've seen that.
man, man, I should have started this so long ago. I mean, like nothing wrong with starting now. It's like because I
Yeah.
think YouTube is like pushing like YouTubers now, but I think that time in COVID, especially if you're very more into like commentary or like video essay horror stuff. Yeah, I think COVID pretty much was like the right time to really start.
Yeah, I feel
Hmm.
like with, at least with like video essays, I feel like you could still get like a start now if you like put your name out there by doing like cool stuff. And just like, I think for me at least, it was like one video got into people's recommendeds, then I did another video that got into people's recommendeds, and then like the audience that I grew from that, I was able to like carry over by making like more like stuff that people liked that I liked making and stuff like that. So
So yeah, so like I said earlier, you have a bunch of like multiple like non-Roblox related videos. Like your most popular video with 4 million views is the YouTuber controversies. Plus, you have a few
yeah.
like the Minecraft ARGs video, and then of course like just a few others. Like, so do you want to be just known for like non Roblox stuff, or do you want to be like, yeah, Toasted Cherries is my favorite Roblox YouTuber?
Well, I don't really like calling myself a Roblox YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I'm fine with like having like the about like 3/4 of my channel being like Roblox stuff, but I also like I feel like if you go too far down the Roblox pathway, like you'll kind of like hit like a barrier of like, oh, I'm not really like, okay, I'm kind of doing like the same thing over and over. That's what kind of what I was feeling like for a little bit. So I kind of like took some like short breaks and like started doing like more varied stuff, which is actually like a lot of fun, like doing like Roblox and then like some like varied stuff. So it's like two Roblox videos and one like miscellaneous like topic. Cause like I feel like if you can really like, from like an analytical standpoint at least, you can kind of like uh get people like to be interested in it if it's like a really good topic that like it's not like too niche, I guess. And uh I feel like a lot of those types of videos, like if you could just like get like, if you can, because there is an audience for literally anything like on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. I feel like if you just like, I don't know. I think most of my videos I've been able to just like get it so it's like half like, oh, it's a kind of niche topic that like but like I make like the right title, thumbnail, like all that, where it's like appealing to a more broad audience like at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. So
So what led to the YouTuber controversies video? Because it's definitely like an outlier in like your catalog of videos. Because like, oh, one day you're seeing like a few Roblox videos and then maybe some niche internet topic or a Minecraft video, all of a sudden there's this big one about YouTuber controversies with Logan Paul in the thumbnail. So we'll let up to like that video.
I had the idea for it like around the same time I did the Roblox controversies iceberg, which was like 2 years prior, but I was like, this is way too big of like there's too many YouTube controversies. Like I'm gonna have to like spend way more time on that. So I ended up putting it off for like a very long time. And I think either like I got way more invested in the topic or like I ended up kind of just like this. Oh yeah, this sounds like something that I'm willing to make right now, and I ended up doing that. I started like probably like early to mid June 2023, and I almost didn't finish it until like August, and I
Mm-hmm.
spent like basically like all the summer like writing, recording, editing, like all this other stuff for it, and like getting entries and stuff like that. But it was a huge project.
Because I remember seeing that video like a few years back, maybe like around the time it came out. Like, what would you say was like the craziest controversy on that iceberg, or like the most fun to like look into?
Most fun I feel like are the weird outliers that like aren't like because I feel like that video is like extremely negative like from
Mm-hmm.
my perspective. Like I feel like it's just like, oh, I'm talking about 300 pedophiles like back to back. Like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the most interesting or like fun ones to me to talk about are like the really random ones, especially like near the lower tiers. Like I think tier 4 had this one like it was a controversy that my friend Ollie told me about because he's Polish and he um there's like a the I guess the YouTube community in Poland is like very separate from like how like actual like I guess like what like Americans like are recommended on YouTube and stuff like that. It's very like differentiated. And there's like a whole different it's like a whole different community and they have like their own like controversies. I didn't really talk about like a lot of like different like worldwide like controversies in different languages in that video, but I remember asking him like about some of the controversies that he remembered, and he told me about one that was it was called Mine Cache, and it was like a keylogger that it was like this whole big thing. Like I think a giant Polish Minecraft YouTuber in like 2012. I think he had like 50,000 subscribers. Like stole a bunch of like random kids like logins or something like that. Like stuff like that. I think is very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
And
how
I
about like
think
just oh yeah, go ahead.
oh yeah,
I
I
was
think
gonna ask
on
another
the
question.
yeah. I think on the next tier there was a guy named ZB333 who also did something pretty similar. He was like finding this is also like 2009 2010, and I guess he was just like finding like a bunch of like weird like YouTube exploits and like making like turn like doing a bunch of weird stuff with his channel like glitches and stuff. I think stuff like that is pretty interesting. And he ended up getting banned.
Oh, man. Yeah, the thing I was about to ask is like, what was like your most like fun video to make, or like your most interesting video to make?
Um I think explore okay, I think out of the most recent ones, I think I really liked doing I guess there are a lot of ones that I like really liked making but like took too long. I think exploring dead Roblox games 3 is a very good example of that. That like I had been researching for and like getting games for like and like
Mm-hmm.
recording and editing it for like probably like a month straight. Like that's just basically all I did. And it ended up being one of my like favorite videos I've ever made. Like even though it's not one of the biggest. I mean, I think yeah, it's a pretty big video on my channel, but like that one was like pretty fun because I talked about like a lot of games that like I remembered from like when I was like 5 or something that like had completely died and stuff like that. There was a but that video I ended up like I almost like failed a class because I was like genuinely like all I would do is like even in school I would just be like writing on a Google Doc like and like looking at like sources like Wayback Machine for it and yeah I ended up getting super behind. So that's what I remember most about that video. There was a I think the I made a secretly terrifying Roblox hobby was another one that was like it was fun to record, but like the game took a very long time to make. So I guess with like most videos on my channel, unless they're like kind of like shorter ones, like there was like it was really fun to make for like certain parts, like uh I guess for like certain aspects of it were like super fun to do, or like I really liked or like enjoyed doing it, but like it ended up taking too long, or like one part of it was really hard to do, so it kind of like was like frustrating at the time. So I
Mhm.
don't really know how to answer that exactly.
Yeah, let's talk about like exploring dead Roblox servers. Like, what's like the interest in that?
I think one of the most interesting parts of that is like seeing how like a game could like fit into like some trend and like be so big at some point, and then it's like the game, like for example, like the developer just like stops updating it one day, and it just completely immediately dies, and just like it's like at one point there were like tons of visitors and stuff like that, and like usually there's like for each game there's like some specific reason that it died, like or at least most of them it's like, oh, the like developer stopped updating it, or it just like broke one day or something like that, and so
Mhm.
the developer gave up. But there's usually like history behind the games, like certain like even like controversies like in the game's history, like a really bad update that like a developer implemented that was so bad that they, I guess just the people that regularly played it just gave up on like uh continually playing and stuff like that. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, because like I think like because when I think of like abandoned servers, I just think of like yeah, like people saying it's like really eerie. Like, and I did feel that because I did play a Roblox water parks. I remember how packed that game was, and then I joined it at one day. And it was like just four people. I didn't even know where the other three were. It
Yeah.
was just like, yeah, I was just dead. I kind of feel like you're like a. Did you start like the whole exploring abandoned servers thing? Because before you, I would just be like people on worlds.com, but like after your videos, like now I started seeing people explore like other dead Roblox games, or even going further into like Minecraft or Gmod. Mhm.
Well, originally I kind of like saw a lot of videos. I remember there was one by a YouTuber called The Librarian that was kind of like talking about like abandoned like Gmod maps and stuff like that, and how it kind of feels eerie when it's not like you and your friends playing on it like years ago, and it's just kind of like there's nothing going on. It's just kind of like ambient, and it's like very shallow, and it's kind of just like yeah, just abandoned. Like I have the exact same feeling with Roblox, though it's less of like the creepy side and more of like, wow, this used to be populated, now it's just completely fucking dead. And I ended up seeing a video by Redline, who's another video essay YouTuber, and he does like exploring like specific dead games. Like he talked about like Blockland, like Worlds.com, I'm pretty sure. Just a bunch of other MMOs that were like once completely like packed, like super popular at one point, like in whatever era that it came out, and just like there's nobody that plays it anymore, but it's still open. So it's just like
Mhm.
kind of like at whatever like is in the game is just kind of like stuck in that time frame, like especially with like the hangout type games, you can see
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
I think I don't in like I think another good example is like JJ5X5's House, which was like this game that pretty popular YouTuber at the time made. He was like a Roblox like machinima guy. He made like bloopers and stuff like that, so like funny little skits and stuff. He made like a social hangout game, and I'm pretty sure like on the walls there are just like screenshots of like him and his friends in the game, and then you go there and it's like the game doesn't even look like how it used to look like, because like all the updates and stuff like to the Roblox game itself, like just
Mhm.
to like how like Roblox materials look, lighting, like it's completely different. Like it's way like darker, and like the textures are super low res, and you realize that now. You don't realize that when you're a kid, like how
Mhm.
bad the game looks just generally, you know, stuff like that. And then yeah, it's just completely abandoned. So I thought that was like a pretty interesting topic to delve into, because there are many of those on Roblox. Like I don't really want to like keep like continuing the series really, because like there's, I mean, after a certain point it gets like uh there's not many more reasons that a game could die, but like uh there are hundreds of like games that used to have like millions of visits with like hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands like active visitors, but are just like completely abandoned now. The Roblox is just filled with those.
Yeah, let's talk about like other YouTubers. So do you like I don't really see it in your titles, but do you like often collab with like other YouTubers?
No, not really.
Mm-hmm.
I've had like people reach out to me for like advice and stuff like that. Like I remember I like have helped people with like voiceover before and stuff like that. So I
Mm-hmm.
think there are videos that just have like random videos like on other people's channels that have me in it and stuff like that. But I don't really appear in like other people's videos very often or like have other people appear in my videos very often. I think there was one time where I did it in like 2021 where I made a video with my friend Eve about like Roblox hobbies and uh it kind of like I feel like for certain things where it's like I kind of put like imaginary schedules on myself like a lot and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like hard to like force that same energy on like other people without like especially if they're not like way more like I guess experienced YouTubers so they are like super like they get it kind of just immediately so without like feeling bad so I kind of just like stopped like collaborating or like having other people like do parts of my videos because sometimes it just doesn't really fit like sometimes you'll have like
Mm-hmm.
or at least on that video I remember getting a few comments that like I didn't really like that were about like people that just kind of like were randomly hating on Eve because it was kind of like a switch up like my tone of the video was like way more formatted and hers was kind of like just more like loose and like just kind of like funny uh and I remember just being like mm, mm, maybe I should just like kind of stop doing this but it
Mm-hmm.
was fun to like work on videos with other people I've had people like very often I have people like help me with like recording a certain video like I'll
Mm-hmm.
have especially with like old Roblox games I'll have people like host like private servers with like 5 to 10 people of just like some old game to get like footage of it. I think that's pretty fun, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
usually have people like do a whole like voiceover section of my video very often.
Yeah, yeah, that just like reminded me because like I have appeared on like a few other people's channels as well, just for like quick collabs. For the most part, like I just fit in, like I just give my input, like I'll help narrate a line. But like the last two collabs I did were very like out of place for my channel. Well, because like one of them, I helped someone talk about missing persons cases as well. For me, like I've been talking about like infection AUs, so it's like this is out of my league. And then like the video before
Yeah.
that was like someone like did like a comic dub on this like Minecraft horror comic. Yeah, I helped out with that. I helped voice one of the characters. Dude, I had so many comments just like hating me, like, dude, his voice sucks. He is does not he's not showing any emotion. I'm like, damn, all right, I guess I'm not doing this again.
Mm,
But yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but I was just like adding that because like I know what you mean when like you're collabing with someone and just doesn't really fit in.
yeah, I do kind of get like from like a just like viewer's perspective like if I just randomly like did like I'm talking about like Roblox history one day and they just did like a true like insane like true crime video or something like on
Hmm.
my channel I would just like feel out of place. That's why I feel like with some videos like I kind of have to do like a more like moderate like in between type thing like with most
Hmm.
of my videos with or at least like I guess like they're like even just like besides like just straight up Roblox there are like other themes to my channel just kind of like ingrained into it like old
Hmm.
internet or like horror just like generally so I feel like it's kind of easy to make like videos about those types of topics that are more like broad but are like still connected to like oh yeah that's toasted cherries like yeah that makes sense so I feel like that stuff is way easier but yeah.
Yeah, because like on my main channel too, like I'll have like people jump in for like, because like to me, I treat collabs like rap features. Like one of my previous videos
Yeah.
had Shy Valley, another one had like Jaden Salads and Chupo. Because I guess I just kind of felt like, all right, this would be one thing. Because like I kind of hate recording. I mean, it's part of the job, and like, but yeah, like I just kind of hate having to like do redos, and then like, of course, like you
Yeah.
listen to like audio and you just don't like it. So like I always like I'll sometimes have like people like voice certain parts. Like even my next video is gonna because that one just long as hell. Like I needed people for that one. But yeah.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
think especially like narration is like my least favorite part of like
Hmm.
making a video, like by far. Like I think at some times like editing can get like tedious or like drawn
Hmm.
out and it's kind of like whatever, but I feel like that's just like the process, like that's just fine. I think narration is just kind of like just splicing the audio together, or like sometimes you'll like say something like slightly too weird. Like I'm pretty
Hmm.
nitpicky about that. Like I'll say something kind of weird and then like I'll be in editing and I'm like, dude, why did I say that like that? Or like I completely mispronounced something. That's pretty common too. And I'll have to go back in and then I'll do it and then I'll re-record a line and then it like won't sound right because like, oh, like I just happen to sound slightly different this day other than like
Hmm.
whatever recorded in the first take. So yeah, sometimes that could get pretty tedious.
Yeah, I think one of my problems with like narration is like I'll subconsciously do like the monotone like Nexpo blame it on Jorge voice. I'm like this guy on Roblox just died, and like it's like
Yeah.
and then I listen to it was like after uploading, I'm like man, I should have put more expression into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of have that like
Hmm.
sort of feeling about like a lot of my older videos cuz like dude, the history the history of Roblox part 1. I did that in one take with my brother in the room, by the way. And it took like 2 hours for like a 30-minute video and like by the end of it you can like hear my throat like actually dying. Like I don't know why I did that. Like usually like I'll like for at least the video that I'm working on, it's probably like 12 minutes ish long. I did like
Hmm.
the first 6 minutes like yesterday and I'm probably going to do the next 6 minutes like tomorrow or something. Like I feel like it's way easier, like, because like after a certain point, you're just like straining your voice, like,
Hmm.
uh, it's just, but my voice, I guess, I've gotten more accustomed to like talking in front of a microphone and like, because I feel like a lot of my old content, like pre Roblox video essay type stuff, was like kind of like funny moments where it's like you didn't really have to like care about that very much. Like, and if I
Hmm.
even did, it was like 10-20 seconds of like an intro or something like that. So I didn't
Hmm.
really, I wasn't very experienced with that. Uh, but in like a lot of my old videos, like a third of the comments like for ages on my channel like we're talking a lot about like, oh, when I was 13 I had a high voice obviously, or oh, my voice was really crackly because I was either sick or just because my voice is kind of generally like that sometimes, stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I don't really get those comments anymore because I guess I've gotten better at like not only speaking, my voice has gotten slightly lower, and also like I've gotten better at like editing my audio and like
Hmm.
cutting out like bad parts, stuff like that. So
Are all your ideas like purely unique? Like, because like a lot of them, like I don't really see that kind. Like, of course, like icebergs, you see everyone do icebergs, but like yours specifically are pretty like Roblox horror games and YouTuber controversies. Those are like those like really narrow it down. Even like your like, other videos, like breaking the limits of Roblox avatars. Like I've never seen anyone do that. Like the only thing I feel like that isn't like purely unique on your channel were just like the ARG videos. So like the Roblox player stuck in a cult, but like even then, there's like nothing really wrong with that either.
yeah, I feel like especially after like my first few videos, like I feel like I take a lot of like pretty obvious inspiration from like different YouTubers. Like
Hmm.
I like the I've said this before, like the history of Roblox was like inspired by Sipover, who was inspired by Bill Wirtz, and then the username videos, I don't think I actually like credited them, but the original like Roblox username, like invalid username videos were inspired by a Bed Wars YouTuber named Willow who talked about like Minecraft usernames. I think that was like 2020. Those videos really inspired me to make like more like, or no, actually less formatted like uh commentary type videos, which I don't really do as much anymore, but like stuff like that I thought was pretty cool for a while. And yeah, like the Exploring Dead Roblox games were inspired by Redline. I feel like a lot of the other videos that like aren't really like as narrowly inspired, or like very clearly inspired by like one or two, three, four different YouTubers, or like whatever videos they made. I feel like that's just kind of like me, like more finding like my style of writing, my style of like just content in general, and just like thinking like, or like finding like a certain topic like on my own and being like, oh yeah, that's really cool, I should make a video about that, because that would also be a pretty cool video. So I feel like I think I've taken like enough content in, like just like absorbed enough content like over the years, like because when I was a kid I watched a lot of like Did You Know Gaming and like Beta 64 and
Mhm.
stuff like that, and I feel like that inspired me a lot. And like over the years, like as my like uh kind of like taste in YouTubers changed, like I watched a lot of like, I've been watching a lot of like Video Game Donkey and like Nakey Jakey since I was like 10 years old, and I feel like that
Mhm.
had a big influence or like big impact on like my like sense of humor and like how I like talk in like more commentary focused videos, like less serious like video essay type content. So I think a lot of the more unique ideas is just like me finding like middle grounds of like my style and like whatever I'm most interested in at this moment. So yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. So let's talk about like you being faceless. Like you go by either Toasted Cherries or Maple, but also like on your YouTube channel, you've never shown your face, and you've shown it off on your Instagram a few times. But yeah,
Yeah.
like what's up with like staying anonymous for this long? Like, would that ever change?
Well, I feel like at this point, I feel like just having like a face, like my face in my videos, that doesn't really fit my type of like my style of content anymore. It
Hmm.
originally started because when I was like 7 years old, and I was like, or I was like six, something like that, and I had like my first couple of YouTube channels. Like, my parents wanted me to stay like faceless or like anonymous. So for a while, I didn't even like have my voice in my videos until I was like 8 or 9, and so that's how that started. But eventually I just kept doing that because like I just didn't want to. And I feel like uh if I did show my like face, I think it would be more of like a personal or like music related thing, because like I feel like those avenues like uh not that I like want to be like on some like Daft Punk type timing and want to stay faceless forever, but like
Hmm.
uh for like whatever reason, I feel like just in my videos, I feel like that's not really necessary anymore. So I ended up just not doing that.
Interesting. So in terms of YouTubers, who are you watching now?
Well, I feel like it's a mix of like a lot of people. I can
Hmm.
look through my liked videos. I haven't really uh watched many YouTubers recently. I'm trying to think. Invader Wist is a big one. He makes like commentary videos about like music and stuff like that. Uh, Damn, a lot of my liked videos are just like music videos and like just random videos that from like people I don't even know. So I'm trying to think. Send Priest does a Roblox YouTuber. He does like ARG type stuff now. I think
Hmm.
it's pretty cool. So I've watched a lot of his videos. Uh,
I've seen a few things. I've messaged him on Twitter before. He hasn't responded. But yeah.
a Famicom with like a 4. She makes like a bunch of like just like video game or like tech related videos in general. Like kind of like video essay type things, but they're less like serious. Like she did a bunch of stuff about like Valve games like TF2 and like Portal and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Her most recent video is like a video about like AI, like just like trying to like stop it from like taking subtitles for like generating new video scripts, and just like with this like one technique, that video like actually blew up. I've been seeing that like everywhere. Uh Let me think. That's really about it. Like I haven't watched many YouTubers. Oh, Power Pack. He did a bunch of video essay type content about like different like horror games. His most popular video, like the one I found him from, was from a video about myhouse.wad, which was like this Doom mod that was like this
Oh,
like
I've seen that
insane
video.
like
Hmm.
fourth wall break. Like yeah, it was, that video was super cool. That's one of my uh like, I have like a playlist of like a bunch of like video essays that have like, that were like so cool they like actually like influence like how I make stuff, or like
Hmm.
not even just video essay type content, but just like video or stuff like that, that I thought were
Hmm.
super cool. Yeah, I'm looking through this like Nitrorad, uh Sirius, I actually don't know how you pronounce it, like Cyrus, Sirius, something like that. Yeah, serious. That's how you
Hmm.
pronounce it, but it's like spelled with like eyes. He does like the video I remember the last watch from him was the most disturbing moments in TV history. Yeah, his
Oh
videos
yeah,
are
I'd
pretty
seen that video.
cool. Yeah, stuff like that I think is super cool. Like there, it's like kind of like video is like mixed with like completely different stuff, like videos about like songs or like just kind of different videos that are like uh kind of like, yeah, I don't know, just more like creative stuff. Yeah.
Hmm. Because like I just kind of find it hard to watch commentary videos for me now because like I make that kind of stuff and I'm friends with like a lot of people who are in that sort of community. Like this whole show is commentary YouTubers, so it's like
Yeah.
yes, I've always found it like harder and recently to like watch like video essay style content unless it's like it's a really like silly topic. Like I've been watching a lot of like old like toy videos from like if you know like what was the name like Polygon Donut. Like I've been watching
Oh
them or
yeah.
like Zephyro. Tried getting her on a video. Maybe it'll happen. But yeah. And it's like with me and like in commentary videos, I kind of realized a lot of them are like kind of like the same almost. It's like it's either random indie game retrospective or Reddit mystery number 780. It's like you just see so many of those. Like in terms of like what inspired my personal content is like people like Sagan Hawks, Shy Valley, who's one of my
Yeah, yeah.
homeboys now. It's like you can really tell like they stand out, but like when you kind of think of like the whole like general like broad sense of like commentary YouTubers, it's kind of like man, I'm just watching the same person.
Yeah, I feel like over the especially over the last like 5 years, I mean, I feel like
Hmm.
commentary YouTube like as a genre is like it was
Hmm.
originally like in my mind at least. I feel like this is the same for a lot of people. Like back in like 2016 to like 19, it was stained with like leafy CS:GO, like it's just like that type of vibe. Like so I avoided it for a while. And then I feel like later on, like especially recently, it's kind of been like the Mr. Beast situation got 10 bajillion times
Stop.
worse, like that type of stuff. Like I feel like both of those types of things I just avoid. And I feel like Roblox, I don't really fit into like Roblox commentary because like when I think of like Roblox commentary, I think of like drama, which is kind of like just like a topic that I've like kind of like not really paid attention to in like recent years, or not recent years, but like just like recently in general, because I feel like after a while it's just like kind of like repetitive and boring to talk about, and eventually it's just kind of like negative, and like I don't really want to like
Hmm.
focus on that type stuff. Uh, and uh, I guess like commentary in general, I haven't really liked that much. I feel like sometimes like there'll be like one video essay that like really stands out to me like every once in a while that I really like, so that'll like kind of like inspire me to get back into this space. So I guess it's kind of just a mix of like, yeah, I don't really know.
Hmm. All right, and to move on from YouTube, let's just talk about you and music. So where'd that all start?
Um Music, I originally it started because like I guess like as a kid, like I grew up around like a lot of rock music when I was a kid. I listened to a lot of like Smashing Pumpkins and like Cheap Trick and stuff like that because like my dad's been collecting CDs since like 2 decades before I was even born, like just a bajillion years. So he has like a bunch, and our family computers both had like CD drives, so I listened to a lot of music that way. And eventually, I actually got into like electronic music and just like completely different music as a whole through C418 of all people, because I guess I found his like because of his like, he was the guy that made the Minecraft soundtrack, and as a result, I found like his blog, and on it he had a page. It's gone now, but he had a page where he talked about like his life and how he got into music, and he talked about how this like probably like 20 years ago at this point, his brother came up to him and was like, you should try out Ableton Live, and he was like, what's that? I was like, oh, a music program where anyone can make anything, and he ended up getting into electronic music that way. And he made a lot of his like other songs like that weren't like orchestral or like piano or like ambient, was kind of like techno house type stuff. And as a result, I ended up getting into that. And he talked about like Aphex Twin in that article somewhere, and I ended up getting into that. Uh, like still to this day, like Drux by Aphex Twin is like one of my favorite albums of like all time. And I ended up getting into a bunch of like electronic music online like around that same time, like through that. Like I feel like genuinely think like YouTube recommendations like completely changed like my music taste. Like I was like 10 years old, like listening to like JPEG Mafia and like a bunch of like random stuff that I'd found online. So
So you're big into like the more like underground scene because like you just mentioned JPEG Mafia, but also like earlier we brought up Can and Sofago if you want to consider them underground. Like I think I saw on your Instagram note you posted a Blade. So like you're more into like that kind of the side of
yeah,
YouTube
I feel
side of
like
music. I mean,
in that space there, I mean, a lot of them are like or not a lot of them are signed to labels or stuff like that. So I feel like they have like way uh more creative control, and it was well, like I guess like getting into that type of stuff, especially like right before quarantine, like getting into that type of music was just like a big like inspiration on me because it was like way because yeah, they had like way more creative control on like everything they did, especially like style wise and like music wise. And so they could just like drop whatever whenever, and it produced like a lot of really just like something that like I hadn't really heard of before. So I guess just like I fell like way deeper into that rabbit hole, and yeah.
so like what made you like start making music afterwards? Like getting into all this electronic and underground rap, what led you to like making music?
I really wanted to be in a band as a kid, and then I guess when I was like 7, I ended up first I installed like a Magic's music maker on like my like old like tablet or whatever, and I'm getting like making like loop based music on there. And then I installed Ableton Live, and I made like I just spent like 3 months when I was like 7 years old, like or no, I think I was like I'd like just turned 8 or something. I spent like 3 months because I would just like make new emails to get like free trials of Ableton Live, and I would just like make like 10 just really bad songs a day with whatever presets like were there by default. And I guess I like got out of that and got back into videos. And then around like 2019, I think originally it was because I wanted to make like mashups, like Botanic Sage and like a bunch of other people were like really blowing up because like they were making like it would be a random like rap song like a cappella they just ripped off YouTube, and then like they put it on like a random like Nintendo song, and I thought that was like the funniest thing when I was like 10, 11 years old. So I ended up installing FL Studio when I was like June 2019, and then I ended up getting back into music that way, and I ended up taking music seriously like not very long after. And I guess like a couple months later, I was really trying to like make like beats. I was inspired by like C4AT and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But a random guy, and I don't even remember where. I think it was a YouTuber's Discord. It was someone that was in SMP Live, but that's all I remember. But it was someone that just like DM'd me. I guess he made beats and he heard something I made, and he sent me a like probably like 20 gigabytes worth of like drum kits and sample packs. So like sounds that you could put in like your own like beats, like drum samples and stuff like that from like a bunch of these artists that I had never even heard of, and they were like way cooler, and they were like, so I'm talking like Pandy, like Oddwin, Oswell, like Cass, or like stuff like that. And I'm getting into like posting my own beats to SoundCloud, like or like Beast or the God as well, like stuff like that. And I ended up I just complete my sound basically like completely changed after that. Ended up getting up I ended up getting into way more stuff because of that. Shout out that guy that I don't know the name of that gave me a bunch of drum kits that he probably got off Reddit.
So are you like purely beats or do you have like vocal stuff too?
I ended up doing vocal stuff later on. I wanted to do vocal stuff when I was like 13, but I was like scared of my friends finding it. So
Hmm.
I didn't even do that until I was like 15, 16. So that's what I've been doing now, but I do both, obviously.
Hmm. So like what's like your current state of like your music career now?
Right now I was kind of like in like a weird like transition period between like when I was like making like fully like instrumental stuff and when I started making like songs with vocals. Like I basically kind of like changed my style a little bit. Like I feel like I
Mm-hmm.
retained a lot of the same like elements and like tropes that I had like beforehand. And yeah, I guess because I feel like in the last like 5 years, I've been like really inspired. I This is like a really like the way I'm gonna phrase this is gonna sound cringe out loud, but like I was inspired
Mm-hmm.
by a lot of like hyper pop musicians like over like quarantine, like so like early to mid 2020, Quinn and like tropes and stuff like that. Like ended up getting into like way different music in that time, and it inspired like a lot of my instrumental stuff, but it didn't really like change how I made music. Like other than that, and I ended up making like, or I ended up starting doing like vocal songs like in early 2023, and uh I'm getting forward to like, or I'm like looking forward to like releasing more this year that is gonna be like pretty different. So
Yeah, I noticed in like one of your videos where you had like you were like showing off one of your tracks, you had like a cat video, and I know it's like cats are like a big theme throughout your like your social media pages. So like, what was all that about?
um it originally started because I guess I just like on my Roblox avatar, I originally had like it was just a basic like figure with like like the round head and like the shirt that said "Gimme pie, I want pie" because I thought that was funny, and
Mm-hmm.
I bought a like really weird looking cat head that like the one that I still wear in like 2021, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'm keeping this on my avatar, and then eventually, um. Like I that was what I wore in like the history of Roblox, so I guess people just started associating me with that. And after people started like drawing like fan art of it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I have to keep this now. So I guess like I don't know, that's just been kind of like the thing forever, like funny cat gifs and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. So I just kept that just ended up becoming like a theme in like a lot of stuff.
Dope. So I should have asked this from the start. So like, what's up with the names Maple and Toasted Cherries? Where those two names come from?
Toasted Cherries was originally the name of a private, like personal Twitter account that I had in like mid 2019. It was a combination of Toasty, or it was originally like just, yeah, it was just Toasty at first. And then it turned into Toasted later when I made that username. Toasty came from just like, I guess I was making like lo-fi when I was like lo-fi beats when I was like 11, and I thought that was like that like fit because it was like, I guess like cozy type, yeah, whatever. And I thought that like fit my music, and so I kept that. And then Cherry came from like an older username that I had when I was like also like 11 or 12. It was Cherry Yoshi, and I had a Minecraft channel under that name. And ended up combining those for like a personal account because I didn't want it to be like called one or the other if it was just going to be like a private personal account that I just had with like my friends or like my IRLs on it and stuff like that. And then when I ended up moving on from the Cherry Yoshi channel, because I had it for like 3 years when I was like probably like 10 to like 12, 13 ish. And I ended up just using that name for my like new channel because I wanted to differentiate the two. And then I just stuck with it a lot. To be honest, it sounds like a Xbox like auto generated name, like from like a first glance, but like it actually like, or at least to me, it made sense. So, but I can understand why probably I've got that question a lot over the years because it's like it sounds just kind of like random, like that doesn't really make sense.
How about Maple? Is that like part of your actual name, or is that just like another alias you go by?
Yeah, it's just the name I go by. Like
Mm-hmm.
and like nowadays, I started going by that in like probably like late 2020. I don't really remember where it came from. Yeah, it was just kind of like fit down the same like avenue of like cozy, like autumn, like that kind of stuff, that like toasty came from. So I ended up just like sticking with that. And I think it's a very versatile name. Like I feel like on paper it looks so much better than like toasty, like as like a like or with like I guess like the way I'm really nitpicky about like usernames and like names of stuff,
Mhm.
like how it looks like capitalized, like non-capitalized, or at least with like aliases especially, or like usernames. That's kind of why I started like ditching the toasty stuff, other than like toasted cherries, because I'm just gonna keep that for my channel for like forever. Um, but like I guess outside of that, like Maple, I think is a very versatile name that looks like pretty good, like in any way that you put it. So I just have been running with that ever since.
So like, so what's like next for you in terms of YouTube and music?
Music. I'm working on a project, but I don't know when it's gonna come out exactly. And then video wise, I'm just gonna keep doing that. Like, I feel like over time, like I'm not trying to like one up myself, but I'm like trying to like consistently like see how long I could like, or like I'm trying to like upload like way more this year as well. Like, I know it's like February 1st, so I haven't even uploaded once this year, but like trust me, like 2024 I only uploaded like I think I uploaded like under 10 videos. Like I probably only uploaded like 8. And then like 2020 2025, especially over the summer, I'm going to try like uploading more like consistently good videos like over the year. Like not like exactly like quality over or quantity over quality or anything like that, but like trying to find like a balance like uh between like making one really good video every like 2 months or something, and then like making like a couple videos like every 2 months, like 2 videos a month or something like that. So
So then I just got a couple bullet questions before we end today's episode. So just what is your favorite food?
um I gotta think about this one. I rock with like pizza. That's a
Pizza?
genius like food. I rock with like burritos too. It's another genius food. I remember I think I tweeted this somewhere, but I think I deleted it. I remember saying something like the man who invented the tortilla should be revived because that well of just like geniusism has not dried up yet. So I think yeah, it's another close contender. Spaghetti's also pretty good. Like that's another like genius food.
What's your favorite cartoon?
Cartoon. Um, when I was like if you asked me this when I was like 9 years old, I would have said Gumball.
Mhm.
But I think I don't know. I think that's definitely up there. Like that's like top three. Like I think uh Gravity Falls is like also very up
That's a
there
good
because
one.
like I
I've been
watched
waiting for
that
that
like
answer. No one said that yet. I've been waiting for
yeah,
that.
that's definitely top three as well. Like I watched that from like the moment it came out like to the moment it ended. Like that was like I was serious about Gravity Falls when I was a kid. Um Regular Show is also like kind of up there, but like that one I didn't really get to watch until I was like older because like my parents like banned my entire house from watching Regular Show because the one episode Mordecai said piss, and so I didn't get to watch that much as a kid. But it was crazy. That show was good. Um, so those are my top three.
What is your favorite video game of all time?
I think just for like normal video game that you can like beat like multiple times, like I think Minecraft is like a really obvious answer, but I wouldn't say that. I think Mario 64 has to be uh like my favorite game that you can like just like beat over and over. I'm trying to think of like other one. Oh, for the cartoon one. Oh, I should have said Over the Garden Wall is like one of like
That's a classic too. I've been waiting
that
for that
one,
answer
yeah.
too. That's a classic.
Yeah. That that one I was also serious about Over the Garden Wall as a kid. That one was like insane to me.
I
Cuz like
rewatched it
on
during
like
Halloween. It's still insane to this day.
yeah, like on like Cartoon Network and stuff like that, there was literally like nothing like it. On like any of those like channels like that. It was just like such an outlier, and I thought it was like a really like creative story and like yeah. But for game, I think yeah, I still think Mario 64 is like definitely one of my top ones. I feel like I'm trying to think of like other games that I've like beat like multiple times. I think the game I've like actually beat the most times is other than Mario 64 is like I'm Scared, like the horror game that would like make like files on your computer and stuff like that. I always thought
I've
that
heard of
one
that
was
one.
really cool. I don't think that's one of my favorite games though. I think that's just one of the ones I've played like the most.
So you went to Platinum Games. You went to Platinum Games.
Oh, not really. I leave a lot, or I start a lot of stuff, play it for like nonstop for like 3 days, and then just like never touch it again. Like that's what I do a lot. But I think Mario 64 is like the one that I've probably like I haven't like it's not like I've gotten like every coin in that game, but I've probably like explored like the depths of that game like more than like any other game other than like I mean Roblox doesn't really count, I feel like. But yeah.
So are you an Xbox, a PlayStation, or a Nintendo kid?
Well, I feel like I I was a Nintendo kid for sure. I was really into like retro like game collecting when I was a kid, like collecting like SNES, Nintendo 64 games. Like that was like when I was like probably like 8 to like 11 years old. Like all my like allowance money and stuff like that, like birthday money, like ended up going to like buying like really old games and like collecting them. But oh yeah, I stopped doing that, but cuz like retro game prices like around the time like after COVID like were so insane. Like I ended up like originally I stopped because like I like kind of lost interest in it, but uh like after that like the games that were like $10 before were like actually like $80, so I just kind of like stopped because I was like I don't really know if I should like keep doing this. But yeah, I definitely focused on Nintendo a lot. I played a lot of Xbox 360 as a kid too, but I feel like I don't really like the direction like Xbox is going with like the Series X whatever. Like I stopped paying attention to that when I was like 12. So
Or if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
time travel. But
Time travel?
I don't really I think time travel is like a pretty good answer because you could like go back to like any time at all and just like see whatever, do whatever. But I feel like if you think about it from like the perspective of like, okay, all of your actions will
Yeah.
like if I like kick a rock, like I'm like just like everyone's like blue or something, I don't know. But like just like anything like that, like all of your actions in the past like affect the future. Like then that kind of sucks. But I'm trying to think. I don't really know. Like I think flying is like another one because I could just like go anywhere at any time. Like that's pretty crazy too. Like I think that's like super OP.
Mhm. You could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
I would go to like I actually don't know. I don't really think there's any places that I think would be like super cool to like go to on my own. I think going with like friends to like certain like states is like a super fun idea, or like I mean like maybe like a different country as well. But oh actually okay, if we combine this with the flight power from before, like I could just like disregard like
Hmm.
the like plane process. Like I could like go anywhere. Okay, I'm trying to think. Um when I was a kid, I really wanted to go to Japan, but I feel like that's kind of like a very obvious answer. I want to go to Vermont, low key, because all the pictures of Vermont I've seen are like actually insane. Like the scenery is just like crazy, and I feel like it's a very calm place, so that would be pretty cool. Uh, I wish I could spend more time in New York, um, but I don't want to live there because like prices and stuff like that are like kind of insane. So like I feel like that's just kind of like a waste. Uh, I think those are basically my answers. But I would also go to like a bunch of different places like outside the U.S. just to like see what's up.
So then, like, so what would you tell anyone who wants to start making content?
Don't like okay if you're gonna like you're like trying to like make it big, then don't like obviously like uh I feel like hmm don't like give up because like your like whatever your like work you're putting into it like isn't paying off immediately. Like I could have given up when I was like 13 or something. Like I almost like completely quit YouTube. I was my plan at the end of 2020 like was like if I didn't get 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2021 I was gonna quit YouTube because I felt like it was or that was before I really did like video essay stuff, and I was like I felt like it was a like waste of energy, and I wasn't like having fun with it until I kind of like found like the groove that I wanted to like go along with. So don't like yeah. First of all, don't like give up if you're not immediately seeing results. Take breaks. Like I feel like I see a lot of YouTubers that just like burn themselves out because like they like upload daily for like 6 years. Like after a certain point, it's like, dude, just like live a normal life, like stuff like that. Um, I think that's really all I could think of for advice.
All right, and then I guess we just move on to our segment. So at the end of every episode, I have you pull up a drawing app and I give a random fun fact about a marine animal, and you have to draw that marine animal in under a minute.
God. Okay, wait.
All
Wait.
right.
Let me open up, and then I can just.
Yeah.
Wait. All right.
While you do that, I'll just give the fun fact. So what I'm giving you is a sea turtle, and a fun fact about a sea turtle is that the oldest sea turtle lived to reach 400 years old.
Sea turtle. All right. Do you have like a timer or something? Wait, I can pull up a timer.
Yeah, I got
right
a timer.
Now.
I'll pull it up.
All right. All right.
I didn't even know you could share your screen. Okay. All right, and now.
So we're gonna have like the base, and then there's kind of like that's kind of like the shell, and then like this is like the actual turtle. I don't really know about like colors or stuff like that, so no, like that part is gonna kind of like, no, that's too big. All right, and then that's kind of like that, and then like and then like there's like a head right here, and then no, sea turtles don't have tails. What am I thinking? And then wait. And then, yep, that's this is kind of like a front top-down view, and then that's my sea turtle. But I'm gonna add like some like colors and stuff like that. Or no, yeah. Then this part is gonna be like kind of like brown. Oh, and then this is kind of like, those are like the feet or something. And then like I don't know what does a sea turtle have other than that.
I was just thinking like the scales, but yeah, your timer just ran out.
All right, yeah, that's my sea turtle.
All right, awesome. So like, yeah, just thanks for coming on, and like any like closing thoughts you want to give, or like anything you want to plug in.
I don't know. I've got a channel, and I've got Twitter and Instagram. All of it's Toasted Cherries. You can check out my music at soundcloud.com/toastywave. So Toasty and then WAV. That's about it.
Awesome. Yeah, just thanks for coming on. Like I've been trying to get you on for a bit. Like I don't know, because I remember I messaged you on Discord like quite a bit. Yeah. Like you were actually on like my, like when I first started this show, I had like a bingo board. I was like, who should I try to get on? And you were on that list. So I was like, so I'm glad to have you on, Nick. You were a great guest. I've been a fan of you for a bit too. So like I think that's like having you on is pretty crazy. But yeah,
I did ramble a lot this episode. Kind of was just like
you're
random,
good.
like
you're good. Everyone rambles on these episodes, so you're good. Like that's like this show. It's like I give everyone who's never had a chance to ramble to just ramble. So yeah, just
true.
Yeah. So yeah, just thanks for coming on. Yeah, everyone check out Toasted Cherries, Toasty Wave on SoundCloud, and yeah, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Like, subscribe, give us 5 stars. Shout out Disc and Ryan for editing this episode, and yeah, Finn.
Shout out Disc and Ryan.
Yeah.